Right, everybody, you want to stay for orientation? Let's get started. For those of you that are coming in, grab a seat if you like, or you can stand, whatever's most comfortable. I will ask muted. I will have questions toward the end of the class so that we can get through a ton of stuff before we ask some questions. So certainly keep those in mind. But for now, because we can hear everything that goes on in your non-avatar world. These microphones pick up a lot of things, including your dog, maybe your roof repairman, or phone conversation. So let's keep us muted for now. And I do encourage you to think of questions, but we'll hit those towards the end of the class just so we can get through it all. This is not a technical class. Therefore, the screen is not necessary for you to follow. For those of you that don't know how to mute your microphone, there's an on-air button in the bottom left of your screen. You just need to click on that and turn it white. That means that your microphone's unmuted, and therefore we won't hear any personal conversations or make sure you click on the on-air button and turn it white for now. A little bit later, I'll show you how to do the walkie-talkie #1 key, which is kind of like a walkie-talkie toggle key that you can talk while you press the one. And as soon as you release the #1 key, it will automatically. It's a safe way to mute and unmute your mic so you don't forget to mute it. And if you're walking around the cloud, everyone can hear you. So just so you know, this is 3D sound, so it emulates your ears, meaning that if you want to hear something better, or an avatar, you'll want to get closer. If you want to get away from the noise, you want to back away, and then it'll hear. All right, so we are in 3D sound. When your microphones are unmuted, we can all hear you. Whoever's nearest you will hear you the loudest. Okay, so I just want to introduce myself. I'm Carla Howell. I'm with Agent Services, and you guys, if you haven't already visited us in Agent Services, will become very familiar with our department. Agent Services houses 9 of us out of the 13 are onboard administrators, so we are the ones that you come in contact with first after you apply, and we will help you get your paperwork filled out, get all the approvals that you need so that we can set you up in our system. So if you haven't met us and you're thinking about coming on board or you're in the process, we are in the Agent Services Department, and that's where you'll find us. There's 13 of us spread across the country from the West Coast to the East Coast, so we are able to staff that office Monday through Friday, like normal business hours, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You will need to become pretty familiar with your time zone. The corporate office is on the West Coast in Bellingham, Washington. Therefore, a lot of the schedules that you see on the campus when you first come to the Welcome Center will be in Pacific Standard Time. We are going to visit a website here towards the end of the class to just kind of show you and go around a really great tool that you want to have in your back pocket so that you can see what our classes are during the week, during the month, and a lot of other really cool tools. So some helpful tips for you guys. First of all, orientation is going to change. Brad Anderson is going to take orientation over here in a couple weeks, I believe. So they are working on a really cool format for orientation. But in the meantime, for the next couple weeks, you can come in here for orientation. You don't need to be invited. You can come numerous times. You can bring your recruits. New agents that are thinking of joining, you can bring them. You can share this program that you got in your welcome email. Share that link because the eXp World environment is not private. It is public. A lot of people who are recruiting will bring their recruits in and show them around. And some people even bring their clients in. So just know that this environment that we're in is not private. Feel free to share it. If you have assistants, they can also join. They can also download this program and set up a login and password and come on the campus and assist you out of the different departments. They have their own little avatar, and it works really cool. So this is not a private campus, it's public. Share it. It's a lot of fun. We get a lot of tours. There's a lot of things on the campus that you'll become familiar with as you start to walk around and get to meet other avatars. I like to have fun. Real estate can be a little stressful sometimes, so having fun is really important. We have a beach, we have a soccer field, we have 2 boats in the docks that you can actually sit in and drive away into the ocean. We have a lighthouse, you can climb to the top. We have pine trees, we have just amazing things for you to explore on the campus. So have fun with that. There is a map when you first pop into the campus on the bottom right side of your screen. It's the circular map, and you can blow that up or minimize it. You'll see a ton of arrows like triangles. Those triangles represent avatars, so you're going to see a lot of triangles on that map. Your triangle will be the largest one, and it'll be the same color as the name over your head. And when you get familiar with walking around the campus, you'll be able to use that map to see where you are in relationship to other things. It's really kind of fun to play with. So you'll only see that when you're on the campus. You won't see it when you're in here or in any of the other meeting rooms. A lot of those rooms are isolated from what we call the campus. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a link right now. It's going to be a PDF file. You're going to find it in the gray box on the bottom left of your screen. That's called the chat box. It's a live link. It's a PDF file, and what that's going to do is have all of the links and the topics that we're going to cruise through in this class, so that you can pull that up, save it to your computer, and then you can click on those links. You'll have emails, you'll have all the things we're going to talk about, so you don't need to take notes. So let me load that up here. Let me find it. Okay, so if you open up that gray box, you can make it smaller or bigger with the arrows on the top right corner. You can drag it bigger on the very bottom, and there's a scroll bar on the right side. So you want to scroll to the bottom, and underneath my name, which is purple today, you'll see orientation useful links.pdf. It's just a PDF file, so go ahead and click on that, and it will populate in your computer on another browser screen, and you can just download that. You can bookmark it. I would probably download it and save it somewhere safe on your computer, and it's going to be easy to read text, explain to you what links you can click on to go here, go there, and get the information that you need. If for some reason you're having a problem downloading that file, let me know and you can email me. Okay, hover your mouse over the bottom left gray box with the army green public tab. You'll want to blow that up with the right arrows to make it bigger. And then use the scroll bar to go to the very bottom of that gray box right above the white text chat box, and you'll see orientation useful links. It's a blue link. You just got to click on it. It'll plop it right up to your computer. So just click on that link, download it. There's a download button when it opens up on your computer. Save this document for future reference. It has a lot of cool quick reference material that we're going to go over today. I'll put it up there again towards the end of the class too, to make sure everybody has an option to click on that link and download it or bookmark it or however you want to save it. It's just a PDF file. Okay, let's talk a little bit about communication. Communication is key. You know, not only in our personal lives, but right here in the world, we have to learn to adapt to a new style of communicating, like talking. If you see right now that I'm talking, you'll see a white bubble over my head. That means that I'm using a microphone, and the eXp world is picking up my voice loud and clear. So I suggest that you experiment with peripheral devices that work really well. I think that being able to talk when you come into the campus is really important, because this is where you're going to get help. This is where you're going to ask people for support. So We like to use a nice headset that plugs into a computer with the USB. Some people have tried to use earbuds, but they're usually fuzzy background noises happening with those. I haven't heard about the success rate using a headset that's connected to your computer by Bluetooth, but I do know for sure that those of us in agent services really like Logitech headsets that are like they go over your head, cover your ears, kind of old-fashioned looking, but they're really good quality communicating devices, and they block out background noise. Sometimes you're going to be in a coffee shop, or you're going to be in a place where you don't really want to, use your computer speakers because it's going to pick up a lot more background noise. You can text. That chat box on the bottom left is called our chat text box, or whatever you want to call it. You can see that right now people have been typing in the text chat box, and it's reflecting in the gray box. That's kind of the history of the texting that's been going on in this room. If you scroll to the top and to the bottom, some of it's left over from the class before. It is, however, public, means that it's public to the auditorium right now. If you were in the campus, your public tab would represent the entire campus, which could have over 100 avatars. So just know that when you're on the campus, you're going to get a lot more activity in this chat box because it encompasses a lot more people. So we're going to go over how to do private chat, which is a lot simpler if you're wanting to just have a one-on-one conversation with your avatar who might be sitting next to you or in front of you, or even one of us in agent services. We'll cover that in a little bit. So headset, communicating, really important. I'm going to show you what it looks like if someone is texting, because if someone walks up to you, an avatar walks up to you, and their mic is not working, they're going to try to text. And how you know they're going to be texting is a light bulb is going to appear over their head rather than this bubble. So I'm going to text right now. And you should see a bubble. Okay, so if an avatar walks up to you and they're staring at you, like we all have this blank stare, we don't blink. Someday they'll make us blink, but if they're texting because their mic's not working or they don't want to use their mic and you see a bubble over their head, that's your cue to look down to the left of your screen and see what they're texting so that you can respond by typing in that white field below the gray box. That's your chat box. So that's part of the communicating tools to indicate how people are trying to communicate with you while we're avatars. Okay, so the world does not work right now. eXp World does not work on a tablet or an iPhone. So I don't know if that's coming or when it's coming, but for right now, if anybody wants to come onto the world, they'll need to do it from a laptop or a desktop. We do have a brand new, I wouldn't say brand new, but a new phone app. It's in this PDF document that I had you upload. It's a phone app you can download to your phone, and you can actually dial in to a class. It's really super simple, easy. And once you get used to that, I think you're really going to like it because you all are busy. We realize that you can't always come in for a class or an orientation or a meeting. So that app is a great way to just stay connected if you can't be on the campus. You can also ask questions from that app. There's a talk option, a talk button, can't miss it. You can ask questions, so you can participate. The only thing you won't be able to do, of course, is to see if it's a technical class, I guarantee you they're going to use the screen behind me. So that would be something that you might be missing. It's always best if you can come on for a class. Some of them are recorded, and again, we do have some classes posted on expcloud.com. And I imagine that they're gonna, I believe they're probably recording some classes right now on eXp Workplace. So that's our new Facebook for eXp, basically is what it is. It's private, it's just for eXp agents, and it's a really cool way to stay connected with other avatars, just like on Facebook. Okay, so agent services. So I talked a little bit about what we do. We onboard, we field all kinds of questions, administrative type questions. We aren't realtors, so we can't really answer some compliance questions, maybe contract questions. Those are questions for your state brokers. Each of you has a managing state broker, depending on what state you're in. There may be more than one. So one of the things when you first join you really should do is find out who that state broker is, have a conversation if you haven't already, just get to know who they are, and save their cell phone number in your phone. If you're having problems, they're not typically on the campus. You're not going to find the state brokers in an office on the campus, okay? So you have to get used to being able to know how to communicate with them when you need help with real estate. But as far as the departments that are on the campus, just like in any other brick and mortar office, you'll find accounting. You're going to interface with them quite frequently, and you're going to find the transaction team. Now, each of you were automatically assigned a transaction coordinator to help you upload your contracts and stuff, your transactions, and so that they can be broker reviewed, and we can help you manage your transaction to make sure that you get paid at the closing table. So those transaction coordinators were assigned by state. If you haven't met your transaction coordinator, I highly suggest you take a few minutes and go to the transaction team. That's a department, transaction team. Just tell them what state you're in and they'll connect you with your transaction coordinator. That person's going to be very instrumental as you start closing, doing transactions here at eXp. So they're like going to be your next best friend. The other department that's really super popular, tech support. As you can see, there's a lot of technology that we offer, a lot of really great tools, and especially when you're first getting started, setting you up can be a little bit, confusing. We try to make it as clean as possible, but if you have problems like with your mic, your headset, your computer in general, your websites, tech support is also the one to, I have a question here. I'm trying to read it and talk at the same time. Tech support is the one that will set up your websites. They're also the ones that will give you an 800 number after you've onboarded. If you want to use an 800 extension, there is one. They'll assign that to you. They will also, there are e-fax numbers you can request from tech support as well. So the technology that you're using, if it's not working for you, you will find them in their department at the Tech Outpost room. Same hours as ours, pretty much. It's Monday through Friday during normal business hours. And then there are other ways to reach tech support. One of them is we have an email set up that's support@exprealty.com. This is going to be included in that PDF that I uploaded. And also, you can actually go to expcloud.com and submit your own support ticket, and I'll show you how to do that. Let's see. So there's a question. Someone typed in a question. What is the cost for the TC? Yes. Our transaction coordinators are probably not going to do the same, play the same role as a transaction coordinator that you hire to do a little bit more. Our transaction coordinators aren't going to call the other side or the lender or do that kind of stuff. So you might, if you're already working with one, that's fine. Our transaction coordinators are free to you. There's no cost as part of what you're paying for in your monthly tech fee. So just know that they're there to help you upload your transactions into SkySlope. Maybe you need some working documents. You want to know where to find the contracts. You want to know which digital signing platform you should be using. They can answer those kind of questions. They'll be the ones to figure out commission splits if you're on a team. They can answer anything to do with the transaction all the way from uploading it to SkySlope to the distribution authorization that gets sent out before you close. Okay? Pretty instrumental. There's a lot of them. They're super nice. You'll really like your transaction coordinator. But if you want to have one outside of the company, that's fine, that you would pay on your own to do more than what ours would do. Okay, let's talk about, let's see, we talked about business hours. Let's look on our screen now. Let's go to the eXp World screen that we're on right now. You can make the screen bigger or smaller by clicking on a hover mouse over the right or left corner, top left, right corner, and you'll see the diagonal arrows. That's your cue that you can click, you can drag, hold your index finger on the mouse down and drag that screen bigger or smaller. That's really cool. It's kind of a new feature, so you can actually make it smaller or bigger by clicking and dragging the upper left or right corner. Maybe you want to work primarily on eXp Cloud, but you're on the campus and you want to be on the campus. You can just, make your screen smaller, stick it in the corner, still participate in a class. So it helps you easier. It's easier to manipulate the screen that way. There is a way to play with your resolution, which is probably, making the writing over our heads bigger, our names bigger or smaller. You might have problems seeing the screen with text. Might be what you can do is when you go to log into the eXp world, there's a white screen that comes up before you even log in. At the top of that is a drop-down menu with different resolutions. If you're having problems reading print on the world or seeing things, you might want to play with that as you log in each time and see if there's a setting that suits you better. All of our equipment's different, so it's just going to be a personal preference. So, Brad, I'm going to ask you to mute your mic. Brad Witt, there you go. To mute your mic, click on the on-air button in the bottom left. There you go. Okay, so we now know how to make our screen bigger and smaller, play with the resolutions. Let's look at the upper left menu. This is pretty important when especially when you're in a meeting or a room like this. Right now, this is a list of everybody that's in the auditorium. This list will get longer or smaller depending on where you're at. If you're in the campus, it's going to be quite large because there could be like 100 people out there. When you're here, there's only like 48 users right now in the auditorium, and they should be in alphabetical order. Your name is going to be the first name at the top underneath the go-to button. It's always going to be that way. And then everybody else's names are going to fall underneath yours in alphabetical order. There's a scroll bar on the left. So you're able to scroll up and down, especially if you're looking for someone in particular here in the auditorium. You can just scroll up and down and see who's here. Now what I want you to do is click on the Go-To button. The Go-To button is a teleport button. It's like Star Trek. So when you come on the campus, especially when you're new, and even me, I still don't know really how to get to the different departments by walking there. So most of the time, I will use the Go-To button. It's teleporting you. You'll just move from one place to another. Super easy to get around. So if you pop into the Welcome Center and you want to go to the tech support room, you would just click on your Go-To button. And don't click on any of these right now, but go ahead and click on the Go-To button so you can see the menu of options that you have is quite long. So there is a scroll bar. Whoops, sorry. I just sat down by accident. They made our sensitivity really strong with sitting down, so you just barely have to point it and click and you'll be sitting down somewhere you didn't expect. So anyways, yeah, click on the Go-To button so you can see the list of different options that you have to go to. You'll see all the meeting rooms. You'll also see that there is a group together as the Agent Services, Tech Outpost, Transaction Team, and Accounting. So your favorite departments right there. Those are going to be the ones that you frequent most. At the top is the stage, campus. The welcome area is where you pop in automatically. That's where you first come into the campus. And then if you use the scroll bar, you can scroll down to the bottom and see more. You can actually teleport to the soccer field. This is a quick way to get to the beach instead of trying to find it on your own. If you were to teleport to the soccer field, do a 180 behind you, you'll see the beach. You can walk down to the beach. You can sit down on the beach, kick the beach ball. There's also a pirate ship out there. You can swim out to it and it'll plop you on top of the pirate ship and you can climb the lighthouse. So if you want to play on the beach, just go to the soccer field. Really easy. Okay, there's nothing on the screen, you guys, so do not worry about looking at the screen. Nothing on the screen that we're going to talk about right now. This isn't a technical class, so there's nothing on the screen to really look at. We're just going through the eXp world screen right in front of you that you're looking at all the avatars and you're looking at me. We're just going to get used to reading the screen right now. If there was, we need rain. Let's see, spent some time at the beach. If there was something on the screen and you wanted to, yeah, you would click the magnifying glass, and what it will do is it will cover the majority of the eXp screen that you're looking at, actually bring it up on your monitor as a separate screen. So that is something you can use when you're taking a technical class. Okay. Now, go ahead and look on your name at the top of the menu at the top left underneath the Go To button. Go ahead and click on your name. This is the fun part. The right arrow next to your name is what you want to click on, and it's going to drop down another larger drop-down menu. This is all the stuff you can do with your avatar. Okay, so this is the profile. Profile would be at the top of that list, and this is where you would go if you wanted to see someone else's profile or look at your own profile. If you were to click on that, if it was properly filled out, and I'm going to share that link. I shared that link on that PDF, and I'll share it again. There's a link in there for a backdoor way to get into this eXp world where you can update your profile. When you click on profile, it'll bring up a white box, and if you have filled it out, your own profile, someone else can click on your profile and see a picture of you. Maybe you like to cook, maybe you like to dance, maybe you're a musician in a band. It's just a little extra personal touch to your avatar. Even though we get used to our avatars, we identify with our avatars, we identify with other people's avatars. I mean, mostly people will dress their avatars just like they look. They try to match how they look and dress. And actually, even in agent services, we've come to recognize certain avatars by how they dress and their voices. But on top of that, the profile dashboard allows you to even add a little bit more personal touch to who you are. And anyone who's talking to you can actually right-click on you and look at your profile. Maybe they want to see what you really look like. So it's fun to go there and fill out the profile. That link is going to be in the PDF that you just uploaded. I'll put that PDF in there again. Okay, so the next button down, if you click the arrow to the right of your name, make sure you're looking at the same menu now. One of the options is set away and change avatar. Change avatar, we're going to skip that. That'll just send you to your dressing room. But set away is really important as far as communicating here on the campus, because a lot of times you'll be working here on the campus and then you have to go away for a while. So what you want to do is you want to set yourself away, because you don't want other avatars, other agents coming up to you and trying to talk to you when you're not really there. And it could be just for 5 minutes, it could be for 20 minutes. But what you want to do is, if you're not going to be wanting to communicate with anybody, you're going to click on set away, and you should see a clock. So there's a clock over my head. That means I'm really not here to have to communicate with. So if you try to talk to me and I have a clock over my head and you don't hear anything, then you can assume that I'm not really in my avatar body. Okay, so that's something that you should learn to use just as a common courtesy, so people aren't walking all over and trying to talk and nobody's really in their avatar body to talk to. So to set that up, just click on the right arrow next to your name again, and then go down and click Set Status to Normal, and then your clock will disappear, and that means that you're back in your avatar. Okay, so that's a good one to know how to use. If you click on the right arrow next to your name, I'm not going to go over View Avatar. That just turns the camera to the front of your avatar so you can see what you look like from the front. The only time I ever use that really is when I've changed my clothes into some other outfit. You know, it's hard to walk forward and backward when you're looking at your avatar from the front. So it doesn't really it just makes it a little harder to maneuver. So typically most of us look out of our heads so that we can see where we're going and we can see who we're talking to, just like if you were in real life. You would be, you know, wanting to look out. Like I'm looking out to you guys right now to see that someone has raised their hand. Is that Mark? Did you have a question, Mark? If you hit your number 1 key while you talk, you can ask, or if you're just playing, raise your hand, that's fine. Raise your hand is a new feature. If you haven't seen it, it's down by the chat box. And if you're in a class, especially in like a technical class or a class, this is kind of like more of just like a fun, it's a class, but not really like a technical class. And you wanted to raise your hand to get attention so that the instructor would call on you. You can click the raise hand, and that will definitely bring attention to your avatar because it's huge. Like I'm going to do it right now. Yikes, that's a huge hand. So to put hand away, you would just click on put hand down, and it goes away. So that option's down at the bottom of your screen next to the chat bar if you ever want to use the raise your hand. It's also on the list. If you click on the right arrow next to your name, you'll see it's right underneath view avatar is raise hand. Now this is the fun stuff, and I want you guys to do this right now because it's the fun stuff, really. Works better if you're standing up. To stand up, you can just hit your up arrow on your keyboard, but you can click on these options like cheer, clap, confuse, cry. Yeah, definitely want to dance because we need to have fun here, right? Dance. Click on the right arrow next to your name to see these options. Thinking, I'm thinking. There's even an option for cry. Oh, I'm crying, oh my gosh. Wave, we use wave a lot. Yeah, so for those of you who are standing up, if those of you want to learn how to do a backflip, it won't work in your chair. You would have to stand up. I'm going to show you a backflip. What you're going to do is in that white chat bar on the bottom left, the white bar, type a /, which leans to your right. So when I say /, the top of the slash leans to your right. And then you're going to type the word flip and enter. Yay, / leans to the right. That's the tricky part. And then there's another really cool dance that's not on the list either. And it's a /. No, Rebecca, Melissa, that's the wrong. The /, the top of the slash leans to your right hand. So I'll type it here in parentheses so you can see what it looks like. That's a /. Okay, so I'm going to do you have to do a / and then the word flip. So type in / and then the word flip and enter all together, and you'll do a flip. Okay, another fun dance is it's kind of like a break dance, and it's called Dance 2. This is a secret. It's not on your list. You would type a /, the word dance, and the number 2. It's fun. Woohoo! Well, if we could do moves like that in real life, I'd be in really good shape, but luckily my avatar is in great shape. Okay, let me see if there are any other fun moves on that list. These are all coming from the right arrow next to your name. A lot of people forget where to find these. Yep, right arrow next to your name. Okay, so I have a question, I think. Are we seeing on the presentation screen as today's events? Yeah, the screen behind me, if you're curious what's on the screen, this is what you see in the Welcome Center when you first pop in, okay? It's only a schedule of classes today. So I'm going to show you how to go to another website and get a schedule of classes as far out as a month. Because you all need to be able to schedule, right? You have busy schedules. So you want to be able to know what's coming up next week and the week after that. Or we have a lot of classes that are the same time every week. So just to know that the schedule behind me is only for today. This is the same one that you'll see posted at the welcome area when you first pop in. Okay, so now let's walk around a little bit. Let's get used to our little avatar legs, build some muscles. I just want to make sure you're comfortable moving around. Those of you that are really new, to move around and have most control of your avatar is to use your arrow keys on your keyboard. Your up arrow moves you forward. Your down arrow moves you backward. Your right arrow and left arrow will turn you around. So feel free to move around, play with your avatar in here. You have more control using your arrows. If your arrow keys don't work, there's a grouping of keys on the left side, the W, S as in Sam, A, D as in David. Those keys will do the same thing as your up and down, right and left arrow keys. But typically, this is the way that this moving around like this gives you the most control to stop your avatar when you want to stop it, turn it when you need to turn it, incrementally. You have more control this way. However, there is another way to get from point A to point B in a quick amount of time and a straight line is to use your shadow man. For those of you who haven't discovered your shadow man, if you point your mouse out to where you want to go, you should see a little shadow of a man. If you click on that guy, you lose control of your avatar, but you do go straight to that point. You'll see a little looks like a golf tee pop up. That's your destination point, kind of like a GPS system. I'm going to go follow, I'm going to point my little avatar man over there. I'm going to click on with my mouse and you're going to go right there. This is really good for when you want to go a long distance, you know, but remember you don't have any control. So your avatar takes control. You'll get where you're going and it'll be very coordinated, straight line. It will turn, so if you have to go up some stairs and your shadow man's at the top of the stairs on your right side, your avatar will turn and it'll go up the stairs. Okay? Also, you can run. You can only run forward. You can't run backward. So you can play with this. To run, you want to hold your shift key down while you hit up arrow and you're off and running. Now, when you get really coordinated at this, you can learn how to run and turn at the same time. But for starters, you know, you just have to kind of play with the up arrow and then your right and left arrows to be able to turn a corner. But you cannot run backwards, which is probably a very good thing. Even though we bump into each other all the time, you'll find yourself walking into an avatar, walking into a 2-foot bubble of an avatar. You're going to find that you feel that. Your little avatar feels a little bit invaded if somebody walks into your 2-foot bubble. Like I'm sitting here right on top of Erica almost. But some days we are as coordinated as other days, so you will walk through avatars. It doesn't hurt. They won't notice. Some days you'll pop in and you'll be right on top of another avatar and it looks really funky because you blend. But you start to get really coordinated with your avatar and you have all these ways of moving around. Yeah, shift key, you hold the shift key down and then you want the up arrow or the forward to run. Can I do the moonwalk? No, but we could put in a request for that. It kind of looks when you're going backwards sometimes like you are doing the moonwalk, especially if your computer's running slow that day. I have seen some people that kind of look like they're doing the moonwalk. Okay, so let's see, what have we missed here? So we talked about the right arrow next to your name is the one that gives you all the fun options for your avatar. We did some exercise. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the onboard process. When you first came on board, for those of you that are new, you should have gotten a welcome email. It's called Urgent eXp Information is in the subject line, and it's the email that has all of your sign-ins, passwords, links, logins, all of the systems that you need to start with. If you didn't get that, you need to come by Agent Services and we can make sure that you have that. And what's really important about that, not only about downloading the world and sharing the world and all that good stuff, but also about setting up your eXp email. eXp email is really, really important to set up soon. It's the email that your logins are going to be sent to for SkySlope, websites, every other thing that tech support will need to set up for you is going to go into that email. All of the eXp communications are going to go into that email. A lot of times we have people come into Agent Services and they're looking for these logins, but it's been 6 months and they never set up their eXp email. That would be probably a pretty ugly inbox by that time, but I just really encourage you all that are new to set up your eXp email first thing. Super, super important. It's also a key. It's also the key to get into eXp Enterprise and the key to get into take trainings on the eXp Cloud. So whenever you're going to do work, administrative work here in the office, what I call the office, um, just open up a browser tab and log into your eXp email, and then that way you don't have to think. You can just click here, click there. It'll ask for you to log in with your email, and you just click there and you go right in. So it just makes your life a little bit easier if you're going to work administratively here on the campus to keep your eXp email open in a browser somewhere. Okay, about switching brokerages, let's see. I'm waiting for you to share your screen. Okay, so I am not I'm not sharing screens, no screens. I'm pretty simple. This is just really about communicating, moving around, knowing where to find things, knowing how to get help. That's huge. Better than a phone call, better than an email. Can't reach someone, get in your little avatar and come onto the campus and find somebody. Each department has multiple people. If you're looking for one person in particular, I bet you there's somebody else that can help you if that person's not available. So this is huge. This is super huge. I mean, we've all played phone tag and we're all busy. And so, just come on, take a few minutes and find someone to help you. That's what we're here for. So you can do the on before, when we do the onboard process, we don't just say, we don't bring you on board without your permission. So if you have business to close before you jump brokerages, if today's not the day, but next week is better, we're going to call you first. We're going to reach out to you, email or text or whatever we do. We're going to reach out and say, are you ready? To give you an opportunity to plan, when to notify your broker and when to actually make that transition. Okay, so typically, you do have to move over as quickly as possible after you're onboarded. I believe that's a compliance issue. So you can't just be on board and then wait 2 months to move your license, okay? But we will coordinate that onboarding process as close as we can to the day that you're going to move your license or the day that you decide to actually change sponsorship to eXp. Okay, so onboarding, 7 steps email. Also, you should have gotten an email with a voucher code for your 1,000 business cards. 1,000 business cards on eXp. You would have gotten 2 emails, at least 2 emails once you're on board. We let you know that here are your links. It's time to start working down this list. We've put it in 7 steps. It's the basics, but then once we're done, then you would move your license, coordinate that, and then we hand you off to tech support. They're the ones that are going to get started setting you up on all these different systems. We have 2 websites right now, Sync and Conversion. Sync is automatically being set up for you once we've onboarded you. Conversion you have to ask for, and you can ask for that. Link to opt-in from agent services or tech support. Both of those websites, they're going to take about 5 to 7 days to set up. So it's not instantaneously. There's a lot of stuff that goes into those. If you have not seen your login come to your eXp email for sync or conversion, if you requested conversion and it's been 5 to 7 days, then you'll want to reach out to tech support in the tech outpost room and find out the status of your website. You can use both right now. You can use both at no extra charge. Some people like conversion better than sync. Some people like sync and better conversion. It's all different perspectives. So they do similar functions. They're similar platforms, but they're different. I would just suggest if you don't know which one, you can stop at the Tech Outpost room and talk to them about it. They're agents in your state. You can talk to your broker about it. You can join the chats in the workplace, Facebook workplace, and just ask people about it. Talk to people on the campus since you're here. What do you use? Why do you like that? And, those kind of questions. Also, when you joined, you will automatically be set up with your own careers URL. It's going to be however your email was set up. If you're john.doe at exprealty.com, your career site is going to be John Doe, no dot, and then a dot, exprealty.careers. So it's pretty simple. It's going to follow the theme of your email. It's also in that PDF, and I'm getting ready to upload that PDF again so you guys all have it. Hold on, let me do that right now. Okay, so it's at the bottom of the gray box. Scroll down to the bottom of that gray box and you'll see orientation useful links.pdf. Just click on it. It's going to open up a browser tab in your computer and you can download it from there. It's just a PDF file, but it also has this information on your join link. The reason you want to use your join link, that we do have a generic join link if you're recruiting, but if you use your URL specific join link, then when an applicant applies, we know who that person was that was involved in that. So if you're sponsoring, even if you're not sponsoring and you're building a downline, it'll still connect that applicant to you through your URL for recruiting. Okay, mentors are not sponsors, sponsors are not mentors. It just want to let you know. That's a question that gets really confusing for new recruits that assume that because you're their sponsor that you're going to mentor them first 5 transactions. That's not always the case. So if you do want to be a mentor, you have to go through a mentor certification class. If you want to know who to contact, reach out to Agent Services and we'll share Judy's email. She has to invite you because she has to talk to you to see if you have enough experience to be a mentor. If you do, then she will invite you to the mentor class, which is not posted on the calendar. We'll have to work on that. But it's the beginning of each month and it's only once a month. It's only an hour. It's not like you have to go through a rigorous course, but you have to be certified to be a mentor. So make sure if you do want to mentor if you're a sponsor and you're recruiting and you do want to mentor your recruits, that you reach out to Judy Snyder, make sure you're certified. You can do that. But some sponsors don't, and that's okay. Just make sure that if you're recruiting a brand newbie, that you mention to them that there is a required mentor program as part of their ICA if they have not done at least 5 transactions prior to joining eXp. There are some agents that are in the gray, like they have done some, but maybe it was 6 years ago. Is it on the eXp calendar? Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess she is putting it on the eXp calendar, but it says invite only for the mentor certification class. Okay, so we're going to go to the eXp Cloud right now for about 5-10 minutes and just kind of explore a little bit. I'm going to type in the link in the chat box, and then all you have to do is click on it, and you're going to open up a browser tab and go right to expcloud.com. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Wait a minute. Okay, the last one, the very bottom link, expcloud.com. Just take a minute and go ahead and click on that and open that up in a browser window. I think it's important for you to bookmark it, write it down, whatever you need to do. This is a really good tool for you to plan your classes, to get information, branding materials, agent attraction materials, presentations, and all kinds of good stuff. Go ahead and click on that, and then I'll meet you there here in a minute. I want to make sure you can all get to it. Okay, so I'm going to assume you're there. So do not click on the register now for the Sharehold Summit. It's really cool that they're putting that there. It used to be just typically it's a video of an agent who's really excited about eXp, but right now we have the Shareholder Summit coming up in April. So they've decided to put that on expcloud.com, so it's there if you want to attend, and you would just click on register now, but don't do that now. We're going to scroll down to the middle of the screen because I want you to see the calendar. This is huge. This is where you can look at the calendar a month ahead if you need to. All you need to do is click on those little squares within the calendar, the visual calendar, and it will tell you what the class is about, who's going to be. Just notate that this calendar right here as we're looking at it is in Pacific Standard Time. Okay, you have to convert it to your time zone. There is a way to sync it to your Google account and make it your time zone. If you want to know how to do that, just come by Agent Services and we'll help show you how to do that. It's really easy. But for now, just know that this calendar is in Pacific Standard Time. This is because our corporate office is on the West Coast. So you have to remember to convert it to your own time zone from Pacific Standard Time. And that way you won't miss a class. On the right side of the calendar is a written format, agenda of a calendar, same material. If you click on those blue links, it'll open up the class, talk a little bit about it, tell you where it's going to be. And then also on the written agenda is the list of state meetings. Highly recommend you attend your state meetings, get to know your state agents, network. Each state is different, lots of compliance differences, so very important to attend your state meetings. If you scroll down below the calendar now, you're going to come to business cards, signs, brochures, branding material, logo download, all the stuff you need to help you with your business. So we get a lot of questions. Where do I find this, my brand, my logo, and all I want to start, it's all here, including the identity manual at the bottom link of that list of branding materials tells you kind of rules of what you can or should not put on your signs and business cards and stuff like that. If you ever have a question because you want to customize something, we have an email that's marketing@exprealty.com, and you can run it by them and they will tell you if it's approved or not, or if there's something you need to tweak. Below the branding materials, if you scroll to the bottom there, you're going to see the agent handbook. This is huge. This tells you this answers a lot of the questions that we get. Monthly fees, equity awards, the agent equity program, icon program, team policies. For those of you that are going to recruit like these big teams, you need to share this website with whoever you're recruiting because it's open to whoever wants. There's no login. Okay, so share this with other agents. This will answer a lot of their questions, and it's really hard to be the knower of everything when you're recruiting. There's a lot of questions that I'm sure you're going to get. If you have a team coming on and they're a big team, they're with a Rainmaker and commission splits, on the agent handbook, in the agent handbook is a link. You can share that with them. They can read the team policy. They can look at the team agreement they need to follow. That way they're prepared when they join, and they're not going to come on and we'll have to tweak all their old agreements to match ours. Okay, there's a certain way they have to look when they join, when they're going to have a team. So this is where they can go look. But share this. This is huge. eXp Cloud, no login required. Share it. Answers a lot of questions. The policies on here, our company policy, just amazing. If you scroll up to the top, at the very top of the page, you're going to see the tabs in black. You're going to see marketing, news, training, business tools, and support. So marketing, of course, is going to hover over marketing. You're going to see another drop-down menu with other options, including agent templates. If you want to get branding material out there like newsletters, all kinds of really cool stuff, this is going to throw you to Breakthrough Broker. For those of you who have not used Breakthrough Broker, if tech support has not assigned you a login, go ahead and create one. It's just a place that has all this really awesome material for listing presentations, buyer presentations, door hangers, newsletters. It's not eXp. You just have to customize it a little bit with your face, logo, contact information, and you're ready to go. And it's free. So take advantage of that. It's a really good resource for you. Tab, news tab, training tab. Okay, this is where you can go in and take classes. We have a lot of really great classes that we've recorded and posted. However, you have to have an eXp email account in order to actually click and take the class. You can see what's in there without that. We have sync and conversion classes. We have open house classes. There's scripting in there. There's a bunch of really cool stuff that you can watch at your convenience. But you have to, know your eXp email or have your eXp email open. So basically, you have to be an agent with us to be able to take those particular classes. Can someone come on here with you? You're recruiting and take a class with you? Sure. This is an open campus. So use that to your advantage. On expcloud.com, there's business tools tab at the top. Underneath that is agent attraction. For those of you that want a good presentation for agent attraction, there's one right there. It's been updated. It's really nice. Also, there's some handouts, a fact sheet, a shareable sheet. But also I want to recommend that you attend our class for growing your business, which let me look up the name of that because I always get confused. It's called Build Your Revenue Share. It happens every Wednesday. Looks like at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can look clock here on the. You can look at the calendar here on the eXp Cloud. That's the best advice. It's kind of an open forum on how to recruit, how to do it right, how to do it properly, and you know, it's really the class that you should go to. That we offer at the same time every week. I think it's a great idea if you're going to start recruiting to go to that first. And then at the top on the tabs, the very last tab is support. This is where you would click on and click on that and create your own support ticket. Super, super easy. And I have something in writing. If you're going to go to tech support and later, but you want to submit a ticket now, get it in there so that when you go talk to them, they have something to reference. Okay, super easy. Click on the support tab. There's also a huge fax, you know, a list of all kinds of different things you can find in there too. You can do a search for how do I set up my eXp Gmail account on my phone. There's screen prints of that. There's just probably anything you could dream of. You could type into that search bar in the support tab, and there'll be some answer for you. Okay, so good to know where that's at. Support ticket. Start one if you can't go to the tech outpost right away. That way, when you do go later, they have. Okay, let me see what questions I have here now. Okay, if you're joining a team, okay, we're talking about team, the real team, not a downline team or an upline team or team members, just different agents get together once a week and have a mastermind. A formal team has a rainmaker who's got a team agreement with every single team member that they're going to split their commissions this way, that way. They're going to provide business cards. They're going to provide you this. They're going to pay for your MLS or not pay for your MLS. It's a very formal team agreement. So if you're going to join that kind of team, your team leader or rainmaker will be submitting a team agreement so that we can upload it into your account. And when you do business, the splits and the commissions and the fees will all be separated out the right way. Did that make sense? So that's the policy and the team agreement that's in the agent handbook. The Breakthrough Broker link is under the marketing tab. If you hover over the marketing tab, what it's called is agent templates. So if you hover over the marketing tab, click on agent templates, it's going to throw you into Breakthrough Broker templates. You click on one of those and you don't have a login yet, just create one. Pretty simple. I do believe that the tech support group is sending you logins for those, but you don't have one yet. You could just create one. It's a third party. I think we are having classes now on Breakthrough Broker, so we might be building a stronger relationship with them. Hopefully that might open up opportunities for maybe some branding materials in the future or something. But for now, just know that it's super easy. I've used it myself to upload your information, your photo, and get something done like on the fly and get it printed off. Okay, you know what? Don't worry about missing some of this because you can come again and again. And it's going to take time. It's going to take baby steps for those of you that are new. Just little one step at a time. You're going to have a lot of questions. Come to Agent Services with your questions and we will get you started. That's part of the process. There's a lot of little things to learn, and on top of that, you're trying to learn how to walk and talk. Just know that agent service is there for you, and that's our purpose, is to make sure that once you're on board, that we can get you to feel pretty comfortable. Yeah, build your revenue share every Wednesday. I believe it's in the auditorium. It's on expcloud.com's calendar, so that's where you'll find that one. Okay, so now that you know about expcloud.com, ingrain it in your head, write it down, bookmark it. Real estate tools, big time. You know, there's a lot of technology, there's a lot of classes, but this is the basic stuff that you need to know where to find to get some questions answered. Maybe you need a question answered on the weekend. We're not open on the weekend. Go to expcloud.com and see if you can find it in your agent handbook. If you're looking for agents to refer to, is that what you're asking me? Referral agents in another part? I would do that through a workplace. Or, you know, you can do a search on enterprise by state. Okay, you should be able to do a, you know what I want to tell you right now too? Set up your profiles in Sync, even if you're not going to use it. I understand that you need to set up your profile in Sync to automatically interface with exprealty.com website, which is our company website. So do that, even if you're not going to use Sync. If you have questions about that, go to tech support and ask them, you know, if you can't figure out how to do that. But for finding agents, click on expenterprise.com and do not log in. I believe there's a button that shows up before you log in that says search, look for agents or search agents or something like that. So you can type in the state only and do a search, and you should find all of the agents in a certain state on that roster. I don't know yet if we have the ability to do it by like MLS or city yet. Okay, but definitely workplace is really active right now. Our agents are on there, so you can also reach out to your state broker or another state broker. If you want to refer, if you're in Texas, you want to refer business to Colorado, you know, call the Colorado broker and say, hey, you know, I need a referral agent. Okay, so I think I have a few minutes. I don't see anyone else coming in for a class or they'd be chasing me out of here. So I just want to mention that leadership meeting is every Friday in the auditorium. Awesome, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time right here, Friday. If you can't come, call in, use our phone app. We're growing so fast and it's so exciting and so many things happening. It's just good to stay on top of your company since it's agent owned. You'll want to know what's going on. The executive team talks. We have a lot of really big names, speakers that are agents here with us now that like to share their stories. I mean, it's just amazing. So if you can come, great. If you can't, dial in 10 a.m. Central Standard Time right here. Also, that PDF document that you uploaded has a Regis link. Regis is a United, blah, blah. Sometimes my brain is faster than my mouth. So Regis is a company out of the UK, and they have Regis offices all over the world. So as part of your eXp membership, you have free access to their business lounges. So there's a link in that PDF that I just sent you or uploaded for you to save to your computer to a Regis page off of expcloud.com. In that page is a link to download a Regis form. You have to fill that form out and send it to Agent Services before you can be part of the free business lounge. Okay, so if you want to join Regis, just click on the Regis link on that PDF. If you didn't get that document or you lost it, just email me. I'll make sure you have that PDF with the links. There are active links in there, so you just have to click on them. It'll take you right to where you need to go. So Regis is really cool if you want to use their business lounges. They do have other office space in there. Typically, they're all different. They're all custom. They're all in different buildings. There's probably several around you if you want to use them to meet clients or you want to just go there. They have Wi-Fi. But if you want a private room or like a conference room, you're going to have to negotiate that price with Regis. Okay, we don't provide that. We just provide the free business lounges. I have heard that they'll offer you a discount, but I don't know that for sure. So it's worth a conversation with Regis if you decide you want something like that. Okay, now I'm going to open it up for questions. I think you have been asking a lot of questions. Let me see if I missed any. Now's the time to type it, or you can hit your number 1 key while you talk, and I can hear you. Okay. Services, if you don't know where to go, you have a question, you're new, especially this, you'll get to know who's who or what department's what eventually, but just take baby steps. We'll help you along the way. Okay. All right, I'm going to type that. I'm going to upload that PDF one more time for those of you who didn't get a chance to click on it. Okay, it's at the bottom of that gray chat box. Before you leave, if you want to click that, make sure you save that file. That pretty much covers everything we talked about, plus a lot of little extra stuff like emails, marketing, accounting has an email. Everybody has an email. Stock at exprealty.com. There's a stock email. All righty. Let's see. I think we have a couple more questions here. Yay! This is basics, but it's important stuff. So yeah, I'm glad you came. Lee, you can come again and again, and it'd be fun to compare this. I know that Brad is going to jazz it up quite a bit with his new orientation, and I think I heard somewhere around the 1st, but you should see the calendar change somewhere around the 1st. For the orientation, it's going to be a lot more inclusive of a lot of things, modules. Where we go for the see that I just that PDF that I just uploaded. Did you get that PDF that I just uploaded, Raya? That PDF contains the link for Regis. But if you have any questions, come into Agent Services. Yeah, that PDF, inside that PDF is a Regis link. It'll take you to a page where you can search for the Regis locations, and then in that same page is a link to download the sign-up form. So you'll just want to download it, fill it out, and email it back to agentservices@exprealty.com. We have such creativity in building this environment that we're in that it does change. I'm here to tell you, we didn't have boats that you could actually ride and drive last year. The ability to make your screen bigger or smaller is huge. We had a lot of requests for that. I'm sure as we grow, they will be adding and tweaking. And I forgot to tell you about private tables, private chairs. There's places where you can go have private conversations designated by blue dashes. You're going to see them in departments. You're going to see them at the beach. You're going to see them behind the welcome area. If you want to have a team meeting, you don't really need to have a team room, but you can get a meeting room, but you can also just go to one of those big tables, and it's a private conversation, totally confidential. We can't hear you, and you cannot hear anything outside of that bubble in that room or that table. Okay, they're all over. When you walk into a private table or a private grouping of chairs, you're going to hear a pop, like it just popped in through a bubble wall. Then you're going to know you're in a private area. However, just be aware if you accidentally walked into a private conversation, if you see people sitting at a table and there's blue lines around it, I probably wouldn't go bursting in there because they might be having a very private conversation. If you do accidentally lose control of your avatar and you do pop in there, just excuse yourself and back out slowly. And because they'll hear you. They will hear you pop in and they'll stop talking. And if you're having a conversation and someone pops into your private area, you'll hear it. So you'll know that somebody's in there and you'll want to take note and see what's going on, unless they back out. Can you play the pinball? No, you can't play it in agent services either. See, do I have a pirate ship? Well, you know what? Bring that up. The pirate ship's pretty big. If you go out into the ocean, you'll see it. I mean, if you go to the beach, you'll see it. Just walk out there. You won't go underwater. Your hair won't get wet. But as soon as you hit the pirate ship, you'll pop up on top of it. Okay, guys. Well, I got a little extra time today, so that was kind of nice to answer most of your questions. But Tracy has one more, and then I'm going to let you go. Remember that agent services, please stop by if you have questions after this, and you will. So please do, and I hope to see you guys at next week. And then after that, Brad Anderson will take over and wow you with his creativity on this class. All right, welcome aboard all of you newbies.